Hi, folks. I have read your teaching philosophy papers this morning and this afternoon and provided feedback to you in the rubric that's in Blackboard. It is so awesome when I have a group of students in one class that are so intentional about their writing, thoughtful and really scholarly in their efforts. It makes it such a joy to just sit back and sip a cup of tea and read your ideas. So I really appreciate your, as a class, your general approach to writing well and being attentive to using good formatting. One of the challenges with creating or developing or articulating your teaching philosophy is that the idea behind a philosophy is that it concisely states your values, your beliefs, and your goals related to a topic. And most of us, when we get down to something that we're writing a philosophy about, we're writing about something we're passionate about. So trying to be concise is really, really tough. You guys did a really nice job. Most of you really nailed it, came up with some really strong ideas behind your personal philosophy, articulated it well, and then supported it well. One of your classmates did a really nice job with this. And I want to share just the introduction of her teaching philosophy. This is Catherine's writing. Catherine wrote, God breathed life into Adam and granted human beings with memory, reason, and skill. Each human being has God gifted abilities to learn for learning and discovery. Teachers should ignite the flame of curiosity and guide the learner to focus innate learning energy, resulting in long-term understanding. As learners, teachers, healthcare professionals, and patients all exist within a given community. The teacher bears responsibility to present the diverse spectrum of human experience and equip the learner with decision-making framework. Sound decision making for health promotion relies on one's understanding of one's own values while applying evidence based practice and critical thinking skills. I think Catherine did a really nice job, really giving a broad idea of what a teaching philosophy is. And specific to teaching our nurses, to teaching nursing students, I think that was really well done. I so appreciated your thoughtfulness in really trying to give this some teeth to it. My hope is that as you evolve as a nurse educator, you'll polish this philosophy a little bit. You'll come up with new ways to see your own teaching skill and your own ability, and evolve in to maybe a higher level thinking with your philosophy. And my hope is that this creates a framework for you to begin to have those thoughts about. Many of you use Knowles, the adult learning theory, or androgyny, as your theory. And I just want to point out, especially those of you that are in practice, well, no, I think it works for people that are in the hospital as well, because you're dealing with adult learners. We want to be really thoughtful about understanding the difference between a pedagogical approach versus an andragogical approach, where we approach our students and treat them as adults. This means we don't micromanage their learning. It means that we give them purposeful activities, that we don't nickel and dime them over little things, that we let them get the big picture. If you are teaching in any capacity right now in an adult environment, if you're dealing with adult learners, really sit back and look at the course that you're involved with, or if you're with a preceptor, and ask yourself, does this course reflect truly understanding the difference between an adult learner versus a child learner? Am I respectful of their needs? So often I hear people talk about how fabulous Knowles is and how great it is to understand adult learners and how they're different. But when the rubber hits the road, it isn't actualized in practice. So spend some time reflecting on that concept as you look at your courses this week. APA-wise, you guys are in great shape. I want to remind you that the use of level headings is expected in graduate level writing. I want you to be brave and not just use level 1 headings. Typically, we use level 1 headings and treat that like the beginning of a chapter. That's what APA recommends. As you move through your content, you should be shifting from a level 1, and then you'll go into level 2, and level 3 goes under level 2, and subsequently you work your way down to level 5. For the course that we're dealing with, you're going to be using level 1, level 2, and level 3 headings. So don't don't get anxious and think, oh my goodness, I'll have to learn 4 and 5 too. Learn 1, 2, and 3. Practice using them now before you get more and more into content and the requirement that you use these becomes more present, and that you want to go ahead and just be good at it. So practice now because you have some appropriate opportunities to use those level headings. As you approach your work for next week, your discussion board is asking you to design a single active learning activity that covers all 3 domains of learning. This should be get a blank sheet of paper and scribble some ideas out, get some references to support it. This should be a pretty concise discussion board. And it should be fun. Think about the things you do. And if you do something that's active and fabulous and hits all 3 domains, that's fantastic. Use that. If you don't, be creative. The other thing that is due next week is your final draft of your goals and objectives. I want to remind you, if you have not received approval from me, you cannot be in the practicum setting accruing any hours. As you have turned in your final drafts, I've tried to keep up with them and grade them as time permits. I'm teaching multiple courses, so I don't have a whole lot of free time to get in and double check things. So if you have submitted your final draft, know that I'm checking Blackboard as regularly as possible, and I'll try to get those graded early if I have the opportunity to do so. As you're working through those final drafts, if you have questions or concerns, please touch base. You do not have to do this alone and be out there wandering in the forest, chewing on leaves and branches. I'm here. Ask. Use your resources. Okay, I think that's it. I hope wherever you are warm and you are safe and you are dry. I think I told you last week I live in Roanoke and it has been snowing on and off, and now the sun is out. Clearly we live in Virginia. I jokingly tell my loved ones that don't live in Virginia, if you don't like the weather, wait 24 hours because it will be different, and that is true in all seasons. As you can see over both of my shoulders, the puppies are less than pleased with the snow event, so they have decided to take a sleeping timeout. They don't know it yet, but it's time for their walk and for their yummies, so we're going to be going outside soon. Fortunately, the snow is almost gone. Know that I'm here, folks. Touch base and let me know how you are, and if there's questions or concerns, let me know how I can support your efforts. Take care.